Namato Ratanatayassa. May I pay homage to Triple Zem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Good evening, everyone. So today is the Tuesday night. As usual, we are all gathering here to practice meditation. So sitting in a comfortable position, relax yourself, leaving all responsibilities aside. Just connect with your body as you are sitting here and now. And spend some time observing the breath coming in, going out. As it comes in, you know that it is coming in, and as it goes out, you know that it is going out. So each breath that you are taking, just making sure that you are feeling comfortable and relaxed. And each breath that you are taking and releasing, making sure that your entire body is relaxed. There is no tension involved and there is no confusion involved. There is no verbalizations or imagination. All what you are doing here at the moment is just to be here and observing whatever is happening within yourself as it takes place. If it's coming in, it's going out, going out. And meanwhile, whatever other sensations that you can observe, just to be mindful of it as it comes, as it goes. Observing them objectively rather than thinking that a like or a dislike are pleasurable or unpleasurable or try to manipulate the breath. So let the breath regulate normally and naturally. And this is the Pachupanna, the current moment or present moment awareness. We're not trying to be mindful of something that had been done or had been in the past, or we are not trying to make something that is going to be in the future. All what we are trying to be mindful without doing anything, all what we are doing is to be aware what's happening, what is taking place. We're not using any perceptions. We are not using our memories, our knowledge. We are not investigating what's going on. All what we are doing is simply observing what's happening now and be aware of that incident. And that is the present moment awareness. And that is the Pachupanna Dhamma, according to the Buddha's instruction, is to be in the moment here and now and be aware and mindful of it. So breathing in and out, affecting the body, causes the rise and falls of abdomen. This is happening here and now. We are not thinking of something that had been done in the past or just recently, or any experiences that we have experienced while we were meditating. And also, we are not expecting anything that in the future that could happen or want it to be happening. All what we are doing is simply be mindful as it is taking place here and now, without any judgments, without any commentaries. All what we are doing is sitting quietly observing all the phenomena that comes and goes, arises and vanishes. In general life, we try to engage and we try to find some way to connect. We're constantly looking for the entertainment through the eyes, the ears, the nose, the tongue, and the body. And as a result of that, we're trying to find something which is nice to look at it. Anything that is not nice, we discard or do not want to see. Similarly, the sound that comes, we want to hear the nice, favorable voices at all the time, and whenever there are other voices or unfavorable that you dislike, there is a resentment arises. So, in the practice of a meditation, rather than trying to find somewhere something to be or to let yourself to be at it, on it, we simply sit quietly and observing as these incidences comes through the senses, whether it is through the sound that you are hearing, whether the sights that you are seeing, or whether that the contact that you are having this moment, the heat or the cold or the wind. So all what we are doing is to be mindful of it as it takes place. So when breathe in, breathe out, what happens with your body and what happens with your feelings, what happens with your body, the mind. Okay, this is a moment of my question answer, or anybody has got anything to ask, you can type it in. Um, so this evening, we have done this Abhidhamma chanting, dedicating the Richard Rangel, the friends of June, who passed away. So while waiting for any comments or any questions, just let me just speak with you all that this whole week, from Sunday till today, this morning, the center was very busy with the residential retreat going on. Um, so it was another successful retreat with the ladies staying at the temple, shaving their heads and becoming a nun. And meanwhile, yesterday we were at the funeral service in Verud, Inverness. It was quite a bit of a people, interesting to see members and meet with them. And obviously, we had yeah, Songkran or New Year festival on the 10th, Sunday the 10th. The New Year basically is supposed to be from tomorrow in Thailand and Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos will celebrate it in tomorrow, whereas in Southeast Asian countries, Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and so on, will um, celebrate a New Year on the 14th of April. So this will be a new year. In the new year, I like the story, particular that is told in a Thai tradition in Thailand, that the reason behind this transition from one time to another, one set of a time to another set of a time, according to the moon calendar, is basically because the Kapila Brahma, one of the heaven Brahma Loka, heavenly resident monk, a Brahma, he basically was defeated by a man called Dhammapala. Dhammapala was born as a clever man in the one of the wealthy family, and because of his knowledge, this Brahma descended from the heavenly world just simply to question him. And these three questions are quite interesting questions, and those three questions I have used quite sometimes, and elaborated on that for the reflection and recollection. So the first, the Kapila Brahma, he simply said that he's going to ask three questions, and if he or Dhammapala could answer within 7 days, then he will cut his head, and if he could not answer, then he will kill this Dhammapala, the human. So Dhammapala went on trying to find, think, and investigate what that question means. So the first question was, what is the blessings in the morning? What is the blessings in the afternoon? And what is the blessings in the evening? So basically, these are three questions: the blessings in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, were asked to the Dhammapala. And the Dhammapala went on trying to think about it, trying to find out the answer in various ways, in different ways, but he couldn't. 7 days passed. Now he felt that his life is ends tomorrow. So I do not, so he didn't want to stay at home, so walk away from home to spend some time with the nature. Sat under one of the giant tree where on that tree there were a couple eagle were living. A bird eagle were living there. And they were having a conversation that now today we don't have to worry about tomorrow's food. We don't have to go around and find food. And the reason behind that is simply, sorry, the reason behind it is simply that they thought tomorrow this man will be executed, so they will have flesh, human flesh body as their food. And this female eagle asks the male, do you know the answer for that? What is the blessing in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening? So, and this eagle replies saying that why not? So in the morning, a blessings is in our face. Like when we are just woke up and very zombie and then walking like a zombie man, a person feeling unfreshed and feeling not ready to do anything. So that's why we have to go into the toilet and wash ourselves or brush it. Oftentimes we find that if we are not brushing our teeth and not freshed up by washing your face, you feel miserable for all day. And that was replied. What about the second blessings in the afternoon? So second blessing in the afternoon is basically in our chest. The reason behind the blessings is in our chest is that humans are measured by their work, and also the impression that in any human beings wearing a clothes or a smartness, a beautiful clothes wearing and going into somewhere, some people will be very impressed. And with that, the blessings will come. People would like to come and speak. There is a saying that when if you are going for interviews, make sure that you are smart and well suited and booted. They say first impression is the last impression. You have to impress by with your all the possibilities or skills. So that's why the second blessings is in the chest. Meanwhile, sometimes you will use the scents, perfumes to just to feel confidence. And that confidence came from just simply spraying one perfume. I remember even a couple of weeks, sorry, a couple of months ago, when the monks were going around trying to buy perfumes for their relatives that they are going back to Thailand. They took me to Boots and find the perfume and let me smell it. Different smells I could smell it, but I couldn't define which one is for ladies and which one is for the gents because I never used it. But however, for somebody, those who are using it, in order to be confident, they have to use that perfume and feel the confidence. So that's why the second blessings is on the chest. And the last blessings, and which is very important, that's in your feet. And this, if you look at the Asian tradition, as soon as you come into the house, you have to take off your shoes. And that taking off your shoes, basically, uh, traditionally, it's not just the taking off your shoes, but you are washing your feet too. Now, in the ancient time, since you do not have a proper shoes, you're walking all around. If you do not wash your feet and go into your house or went to sleep, that will bring the dusts and it will make messy. So you have to wash your feet. For modern days, at least taking off your shoes. But this metaphor, taking off the shoes or washing the feet, is basically throughout the days that you have been working outside the house, in the office, or in anywhere else. As soon as you enter the house, do not bring anything from there and to the house, because if you're bringing it into the house, then you're simply bringing miseries and no happiness in the family. So leave everything behind and be in the moment here and now. Be with the family attentively and be with the family wholeheartedly. I quoted the, I would like to quote the Thich Nhat Hanh's word, "Darling, I'm here for you." So simply you are presenting there for yourself, being noble friend for yourself and also being noble friend to others, the family members. So with that, the happiness will begin, a harmonious family created. So that's why it's very interesting that and those three questions we could reflect in our day-to-day life, and also reflects that our blessings is based on our actions of every single day that we are performing from early morning till the end. And also, it is a metaphor to learn to be mindful in our day to day life, which will bring happiness. Otherwise, we are living in a miseries and we will not be enjoying the life. We will not be able to see the transition from one part of the world to the another time. And this transition is taking place not only during the New Year time, but it's taking every single day, every single moment. And the practice of a meditation is simply to see that transition taking place, called anicca, or the impermanence of things. It's everything is changing at all the time. And so practice of a mindfulness is to recognize that and see it from the very little tiny bit of it. from the micro level to the macro level. Micro level, our breath is changing, our feeling is changing, our perception is changing, what we are perceiving is changing. And further on, our body is changing constantly every single time, single moment. And that will help us to connect with the entire world. The trees are changing, the flowers are changing. As we know, the spring is already, we have a spring, and this is a Easter time. So everything is spring, everything is blooming, coming out. There are daffodils all around. Tulips are coming, yeah? And that's change. And there is a transition going on. If there is no transition, everything stills, then we would not be reborn, or we would not be able to be born. And because of the transition, there is a possibility of birth. And because of this transition, we have to make sure that this is not the end of the life. There will be another transition along the way in the future lives. So this life is just a short life that we are living here, compared to the lives according to the Buddhist philosophy. We have we had lived so many lives, and some of those lives, it is believed that we have lived thousands of years in one lifetime. And in the future also, we will be living another thousands of lifetimes and maybe thousands of years of age in one existence. As long as we have this greed, hatred, and delusion constantly there, and we do not know how to cleanse ourselves, then there is constant reborning again and again. So we should not be, perceiving that this is the only life that we have, and I don't want to go away, and just living heedlessly without accumulating the good merits. The merits alone will help us to take the good transition from one to the other place. So this Songkran, or this Asian New Year, is basically teaching us to understand that every action that we perform in a single day, from the morning, afternoon, and the night, defines that how are we living our life, and how are we understanding our life. An understanding of that helps us to see the world very differently, and then we will not be living this life alone as the end of the journey, but this is the beginning of the journey, and try to accumulate the merits and live life heedlessly, being mindful of every action that we perform, whether speaking or physically doing, and even thinking. As we know that all the actions that we are physically doing, or whatever we are saying, is defined by our thoughts. And if you look at carefully into our thoughts, is there anything that we have done without any expectation, and that intentionally done? So there's always, there is intention to do something, and then whatever we do, we always expect something in return. And that's how it changes our perception to the things, to the world, and it also changes how we perceive things, and that perception definitely changes our behavior. And because of the changing that behavior, it becomes our habit. And these habit patterns simply becomes the part, or particles that subconsciously save, and the continuity of this consciously saved, the so-called the accumulation of the karmas or the actions defines the future. And this changing the future is based on our action from morning to the end of the night. And that we can do by being mindful from start, cleaning yourself, making yourself fresh and happy, and being a smart, living life smartly and mindfully, and making sure that day has passed. Now it's time to let go. Letting go. And with that, we could live life happily. And that's the teachings of the Buddha. Learn to be happy and use life skillfully, and never think that this is the end of the journey, but this is the beginning of the journey. So making sure you have bought the first class ticket to another transition in next life. So I offer this as a reflection for tonight. And if there is no questions or anything, I will just end here for tonight. And we'll meet again on Tuesday. And tomorrow will be Happy New Year in Asia. So, Happy New Year to you all. And thank you. Right, so let's pray to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha to finish off today's reflection practice. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagawang Buddhang Bhagawantang Abhivademi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Until then, have a good night. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Tune, Sandra, Shutima, Deep, and have a good night.